Do it now. Whatever the thing is that's on your heart, don't ignore that. Jump on it and just go for it. It will turn into something.
It's the Health in the Real World podcast. It's time to start the show with Chris Janke as your host. Here to give you everything that you need when it comes to fitness strategies. We keep it simple and easy. It's your roadmap to get healthy. You don't need equipment and you don't need a gym. Just the right strategies to get you fit and trim.
The Health in the Real World podcast is sponsored by most exercises and workouts, whether they be running, biking, elliptical, rowing machine, traditional weightlifting, or even CrossFit, do not give you a balanced workout. And when you do workouts that neglect even one area, you're out of balance, resulting in pain and injury as well. Achieve your goals with the fitness program your chiropractor would love. Visit chrisjanke.com/pod to watch the free video. Hello and welcome to Health in the Real World. I'm Chris Janke, and I'm joined today with Jonathan Johnson. Jonathan's a life coach, and we're going to talk with him about specifically how we sort of balance everything, getting you out of your comfort zone in order for you to achieve that next level success. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, Chris, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You're welcome. Fill in a little bit about your biography, about kind of who you are, your history, who you've been helping recently, and how that's working out.
Yeah, for sure. Chris, I am in the coaching world. I'm a relatively new coach. I've had a few professional careers and a few different chapters in my life where I've worked in different industries, horticulture and vacation rental management at the beach, which was a lot of fun. Getting to work on the beach is always a good thing. But I wasn't finding my satisfaction there. I wasn't finding the guy that I wanted to be, and I wanted to do something that was more service oriented. And I stumbled into coaching quite by accident on the suggestion of somebody else. But thankfully, I kind of found my groove there. And I get to help people overcome challenges in their life and achieve all kinds of new goals. And I do that sometimes one-on-one with just individual personal clients. And I also get to do it in great large organizations where I come in and coach a whole team of executives and managers and leaders.
That sounds great. And it seems like you're very big picture. You're very like all aspects of their life. You were talking about how, you went for a walk with one of your clients because you felt like they needed a walk and they needed to get out. And so health is obviously a very big part of that coaching.
Right.
How have you seen that sort of bleed into the rest of people's lives? And what would you say about health being a foundation for kind of anything else that you want to pursue?
Yeah. When it comes to coaching, I really try to always bring in what I call the whole person. None of us exist in these little boxes where we're just physical, we're just mental, we're just emotional, we're just spiritual. All those things crash in together and get blurry and blended. And so a client may come to me and they're looking to achieve financial security, or they're looking to achieve something in their relationship. Well, really, these people are smart enough to be able to do those things. So I dig deeper and find out where something is hanging up along the way. Sometimes that's in their physical/health world. And so the goal might be relationship, but what's all the stress in their life that's blocking them from being successful there? And so we start digging in below the surface. And sometimes, we can get into creating health goals, diet plans, exercise routines, just getting out and going for a walk. And as you said, quite by accident, one day I was on a call with a client, and for weeks in a row, she had said she wanted to be more physically active. And it was always going to happen, always going to happen, and always going to happen. I said, well, what are we doing right now? Let's go for a walk. She's in Canada, and I'm in South Alabama, and we took a virtual walk together. The rest of the week, she was texting me for the week saying, Jonathan, I'm on a walk today. I've got my baby in the stroller. I'm out with my neighbor.
Nice.
And it just, that one thing, me being the one catalyst that pushed it over the hump one time, changed her life. And now she's actually going to the gym and working out and changed her whole meal plan, not only for herself, for her family, for her husband and her kids. So it spilled over and had this bigger impact on her whole world and those around her.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, sometimes you just need someone to be like, okay, let's do it. You say you want this, let's just do it. It's not going to be perfect. It might only be a 5-minute walk. You know, it's not, we don't have to plan this. Let's just get up and go. That's great.
And I like what you said about not being perfect. Taking imperfect action is huge.
Yeah.
If we sit here and fret about it's got to be right and I have to plan, and it's got to look like this, or it's not successful, we'll never, ever in anything get anything done.
Yeah.
But just go out there, do it, enjoy it, learn what you learn, and then try something else.
Right. Exactly. This one example of this podcast, I started mid-pandemic. It was August 2020. And I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I just, would just start talking to the camera and say, hey, welcome to the podcast. Mm-hmm. And, I was posting like twice a week, maybe, but it wasn't consistent. And it's funny because I get people now and they say, oh my gosh, look at what you did with your podcast. I saw you had some episodes with a couple thousand views. And I said, yeah, but my first 30 podcasts, I had 11 views each, Right. So like, and that's the thing. Like, I think whatever your goal, whatever your direction, whether it's health with your walking or podcast, or you're starting a business, or you want to meet more people, or whatever it is, you just need to start with something, right? It has to be some version of the thing. Like I heard the analogy is, if you want to build a Tesla, you don't start building and then do the frame and then do the wheel and then the other wheel. No. You start with a scooter or skateboard. You build a skateboard that works. And then you say, oh, how can I make the skateboard better? And then you build a bike and that bike works. And then you go, okay, maybe I can build like a horse and buggy. I don't know, whatever the next step would be. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of a good analogy for that. Do you find that a lot of people struggle with this? Like they need it to be perfect right off the bat, or, do they just need you to just push them and just get started?
It kind of varies, but yeah, there's a lot of people that have such high expectations because they have been successful in many areas. And so they expect their physical goals to be the same. And it's hard to change your routine and it's hard to change your body. If it wasn't, we would all do it. We'd all look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but we don't, and so letting them know that it's okay to fail is huge. Letting them know that they have an accountability partner and a support partner there's no judgment from me. I'm just there to cheer you on and encourage you, but also to hold you accountable. Like you said, you're going to go and do X, Y, Z. I'm going to check in on you tomorrow, Chris, and see if you did it. And I'm not crashing down on you hard if you didn't.
Right.
I'll say, that's okay. That's cool. What did you learn? Well, I learned that I felt kind of down on myself, or I learned that it wasn't the priority that I thought it was. That's okay. What was the new priority? Let's go there. Let's explore what the new priority is. Maybe we're looking at the wrong thing altogether.
Right.
Let's clear that out.
So you're kind of making it conscious, whatever behavior they're doing. So if they say they wanted to go to the gym and they ended up hanging out with their kids, that's obviously very important as well. Yeah. And then let's just make this conscious. It's not gym versus kids. Now you've brought everything sort of to the forefront, and you can say, okay, well, how can we get you to work out consistently and have a great relationship with your kids, right? There's an and then you're bringing it up to the level of consciousness instead of it just being autopilot. And like you said, habits are hard to break because habits are all on autopilot. We're not even thinking about them.
So conscious, I love that, because we act on autopilot so much.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And so to be able to make a conscious choice and then take a step towards it and make adjustments along the way, that's huge. And acting with intention kind of goes along with conscious/unconscious action. So if I set a goal and I set a plan, and I'm making steps towards it, and it's okay to change along the way, but I'm driving towards something, not just blowing in the wind.
Right.
And that intention there's a lot of power in acting with intention.
There's a lot of power with that. Yeah. And I like what you said earlier too, getting out of your comfort zone. Let me actually back up real quick. That word intention, we hear it a lot. How would you define intention? Just so somebody, they can analyze their own behavior and ask themselves, well, am I acting with intention? Am I doing what I say I want to do? How would you define it? Just like a working definition?
That's a great question. Um, when you're acting in intention, uh, I think you leap forward and set the end goal first. Where is it that I want to be? What do I want to have? Who do I want to be? And then we're going to step backwards and set a path for that. And we know these are the 3 steps that I am definitely going to take to get there. No matter what, I'm taking these 3 steps, and I'm going to get hit along the way. I'm going to get pushed off course. But I have a standard in mind that I'm looking to achieve. And with that, you can call it whatever you want, but that is acting in intention. That is moving towards a definite end result. But then being okay with along the way, maybe it's going to change. But it's changing because you are taking steps towards it.
Right. We hear the term reverse engineer a lot, and that just came into my mind as you were talking about intention. Like, figure out what you actually want, and then reverse engineer backwards to where you are now to get step by step. And like you said, sometimes it changes. Be gracious of yourself. Jonathan, did you have something like, what's the story behind you getting interested in this? Like, do you have a story of you kind of hitting rock bottom or back against the wall, or has it always kind of been in you?
No. Rock bottom. I'm glad you just pulled that out of the air. That's a great question. So I was struggling in my professional career with burnout. Work was just very hard due to the pandemic, and I live on the Gulf Coast, and we'd gone through 2 hurricanes, and me and my team were just exhausted, physically and mentally and spiritually exhausted. I lucked into coaching, as I said earlier, by the suggestion of somebody else. And so I was going down that path and rebuilding my spirit and my brain. But I had all this anxiety, this physical anxiety, and there's a gym right around the corner. I was like, let me go and just pop in. And the lady at the desk suggested that I join boot camp. And I wasn't there to join boot camp. I was there to use the weight machines. I was like, okay, whatever. She's like, come for free. So I came for free. And I got hooked on boot camp. And I was going 5 days a week. Then I hired the trainer, and we were lifting weights every day. And I started realizing the impact it was having on me beyond just my body, right? I was sleeping better. I was healthier. I was stronger. My brain was clear. The anxiety that I carried in my body was flushing out. I was getting up earlier and having a better start to my day just because I'd been exercising before. And I was like, wow, this is something. I was 42 years old, and I'd never done anything like this in my life. So then I started like, well, how could I combine this? Like I said, the whole person, right? This is like a whole mind, body, spirit revolution that's happening in me. I was like, I gotta tell people about this. People have to know that this can change their world too. And I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'm going to find ways little by little to bring it into my life and bring it into my conversations with my individual clients and my organizational clients.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have this amazingly scalable thing called the internet, and who knows who you're going to affect now. You're talking about the woman who you said, hey, let's just go on a walk right now, and then that's just created a domino effect on her whole life. We never know if that may happen in this episode, which it's pretty amazing, the power that we can have right now.
For sure. My coaching business is 99% virtual. I have clients all over the country.
Yeah.
And what a blessing that we live in a time when we have that. At first, it seemed like we were going backwards, but then it opened up all kinds of new doors. Like, oh no, there's an advantage here to be had.
Yep, absolutely. I agree. I think technology is a great thing, and you and I are probably 2,500 miles apart right now.
Yeah.
But just having a conversation face to face as if you were here is pretty cool. Jonathan, I want to give you a chance to. It's my favorite part of the show. We go really, really big picture, and I want to give you a chance to give your motivational speech for like a graduating class at university. You're going to give your talk on how you think they can get the most out of their lives. What would you say to them as far as practical strategies based on different ideas that you've learned in your life?
Do it now. Whatever the thing is that's on your heart, don't ignore that. Jump on it and just go for it. It will turn into something. And I wish people had told me that when I was 18 years old coming out of high school, early 20s coming out of college. Just do the thing. Don't listen to someone else's plan for your life. Their plan is their plan, and it's great and that's good for them, but don't let them impact you so much. Just go out and do your thing and see what it is, and it's going to turn into something great. You mentioned Tesla earlier, Elon Musk, PayPal. Look where that's taken them, right? He never knew that, and now he's the most popular man in the world. So or you can stay home and do nothing, right? And who wants to do that? So whatever, do it now I'm saying that because that's where my life is right now. When I have an idea, I'm jumping on it. I'm taking that imperfect action that I mentioned earlier. I'm setting an intention for what I want it to look like, and then I'm stumbling after it. And I give myself grace that it's not perfect, and then I'm going to mess up, and just take pride and joy and all the things I learn along the way.
Nice. That's awesome. Great speech. Yeah. So Jonathan, where can people find you online? How do people get in touch with you? Like your website, social media?
Yeah. So online, jonathanjohnsoncoaching.com, and on LinkedIn at Jonathan M. Johnson.
All right. Perfect. Again, this is Health in the Real World today with Jonathan Johnson, and I'm Chris Janke. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris. Good to see you, man.
Thanks for listening to the Health in the Real World show. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below. Visit mycorebalance.com to learn more.